Okay.
You already have it going?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's really in there?
Do you not want to be in there?
It's fine.
Come in and make another guest appearance if you want to. Hi, my name is Wyndham, and during the month of December, I have been very invested in making quiches. I've been on my quiche journey. It's only natural that I bring you along for the process. Process here is crust you gotta make the day before or a couple days before. I would say 2 nights in the fridge max. Right, Mom? Mm-hmm. And then you can make the filling the next day. And once you make it all, then it can sit in your fridge for like maybe a week max, but like don't hold me to that, because I don't know. Don't get sick or anything. I've tried it a couple of times, so this is technically my 5th quiche. So this will be my 4th one of December, 5th overall. I have already started, so what you'll need, let me pull it out, from, you guessed it, Claire Saffit's. So what we'll need for Claire Saffit's famous flaky all butter pie dough, right? There's 1 stick plus 2 tablespoons unsalted butter. There's 1 1/2 cup all-purpose flour. There's 1 tablespoon of sugar and 3/4 teaspoon of diamond kosher salt. Here's what I have been up to. I have chopped all the butter into little pieces. Your 10 tablespoons total you split in half, right? And then you cut one of those halves into 1/2-inch pieces, and the other one you slice thinner. And the goal of this all is to keep your butter cold. Don't forget to take off your rings. And next I'll be adding the flour. I already added the sugar before I started filming because I just forgot about it. So there's already a tablespoon of sugar in here. 1 1/2 cups of all-purpose flour. Next, we're gonna start incorporating the butter. So we're gonna start with the bigger 1/2-inch cut sections. Add them in there. Oh. So before I totally forget, you have to add your salt too. So what I do is I just cut the salt in half because this is saltier than kosher salt. So I'm gonna do like 1/4 teaspoon and 1/2 teaspoon because it calls for 3/4 teaspoon of kosher salt. So anyways, salt, sugar, flour. Just put in the butter cubes and we're gonna start mixing. Make sure to wash your hands, don't be gross.
Hi.
That's my mom, my mother, Mia. But yeah, if you feel like your butter is getting too warm, just throw the whole thing back in the fridge. It'll be fine. It can hang out in there. What are you making?
Sweet potatoes.
Sweet potatoes.
So easy.
Yes. You want to get it to look like sand, is what Claire says. But it's never a precise science. It's really just you do it by your heart.
I've been making a lot of these lately.
This is my 5th quiche.
This one.
Once you feel like your mixture is at like a sand-like texture, you can go ahead and add the other one. And then you're gonna have to ask your helper, because your hands are covered with flour, to go get you some ice water, please.
Ice water?
But we don't have any ice water. Claire says ice water. I'm sorry, Claire, I just couldn't do it. Okay, so then, rest of the butter going in to some cold water.
Deliver the cold water.
Oh wow, thank you so much.
Yeah.
You're gonna take your sheets of butter and like pinch them, because then when you roll out your pie dough, you do like a couple flips. You just squish, 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 squish. Throw it back in there, just kind of move it around. This is gonna sit in your fridge at least 1 night overnight.
Like
so you've got to ask your dear
parchment?
beloved friends and family whether or not they would like a quiche at least 2 days ahead. Make sure everything is well incorporated. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take your water and you're just gonna pour a little bit in there at a time. Just a little bit, don't go crazy. You can use whatever utensil, use a knife, you can also use a fork. Stir it around in there. Just start to hydrate everything, right?
Yeah, sure.
Totally.
Totally.
You can kind of pick it up and like clump it and then just see if it's, but usually on the first one there really isn't big chunks, but once you start to get noticeable like lumps, you just want to take them out and put them on your work surface. Once it kind of stays together in a little bit of a ball, you can start to put it on your work surface, but only put the parts that are really clumping out. Then at some point you can just kind of get in there with your hands and you start to get crazy. And it's okay if some of your pie dough is a little bit scraggly, because while it's in the fridge overnight, like you should let it do, it all hydrates thoroughly. Sometimes at the end I feel like I have like a really watery piece of dough, which might happen in this run as well. But that's okay, because then you can just fold it into the middle, call it a day, and just be done with it. And then it'll do its magic in the fridge overnight. And it'll be amazing. And your bowl should be relatively clean by the end of it. So that's what we're looking at for the pie dough. So once all of your pie dough is transported to your work surface, all you gotta do, pull out a little bit of cling wrap and transfer your little guy over here. Then you just gotta wrap it up, press, press, wrap, 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 fold it down, and then you can kind of work it into a square. And the reason why you want it to be in a square is because we're gonna fold it. This goes in the fridge overnight. You better do it. All right. See you tomorrow for quiche time. Hi folks. Welcome back to day 2 of pie making. Quiche making to be exact. This is our busy day. So it's probably gonna take about like 2.5 hours to complete all of these steps. So make sure you set aside the time to do so. What I'm gonna start with now is my pie dough. You roll it out and then you gotta fit it to your pie plate. So I'm gonna start the rolling out process now. You wanna make sure your pie dough is staying cold because you don't want your butter to melt. Flour. Claire Stuff has told me that you have to go like this to loosen it up first, because your butter's gonna be cold and you gotta let it work itself through a little bit without getting itself warm. So, we're gonna do this. It's gonna be a little loud for a second. And what we're gonna do now is called a letter turn. Once you've got it a little thin, you're gonna fold it into thirds. Folding that down, and then this one over. And you're gonna roll it together to make it become one. And you know what? Since it's skinny and long, I'm just gonna do another one. Make sure your oven is preheating to 425 at this moment. Okay. Let's see. And I always kind of measure with my pie plate to see. Oh yeah, that's gonna be super sufficient. Slump your pie dough in here, however you so choose to do it. And then you're gonna kind of roll the edge. And you'll just cut off, so there's just a little edge around. And you fold it under. Fold it under. Pick it up. Fold it under.
Spinach, a lot of spinach cut up?
Oh, you don't have to cut the spinach.
Oh.
Sorry, I was
Okay.
not thinking earlier. You don't have to cut up the spinach, you just wilt it. Silly me. Once you get your pie crust set in there, you're gonna do a little crimping with your fingers. Use 2 fingers like this and the other finger go boop along the entire edge. And that's gonna help your pie sit on the edge, like a little shelf. I'm not very precise when it comes to this stuff. I just do it and hope for the best. And you can too. And also you saw me patch the edge, so with your little scraps that you cut off from the exterior, you can use that to patch. So once that's done, then let this chill for 15 minutes. And then you're gonna take it out and start the next steps. So I'm gonna go chop, 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 get some things ready, and we'll be right back. After 15 minutes, pie crust is out of the fridge. Take some tin foil, you're gonna line it, press it into the corners, press, 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 press. Take another sheet. 2 folded layers. What you're gonna do is you're gonna get whatever thing that's laying around and is old and you can't use, or the cheapest thing that you can find at the store to become your pie weights. So you're gonna throw that in there, even it out a little bit. And we're gonna plug this guy in the oven at 425 for 20 to 25 minutes. During that time, we're gonna be wilting down our onions, our mushrooms, and our spinach. We're also gonna possibly make the egg mix, but this starts our like 2 hours pretty much of cooking, a cooking journey. So just got some rice in here, and we're gonna pop it in the oven. Hey Siri, set a timer for 25 minutes. So that's going, and now we're gonna do the vegetables. Now we're on our vegetable wilting journey. I've got some spinach, we've got some onion chopped up, we've got some mushrooms that were in the freezer, putting them in a pan and getting to work.
It doesn't work so great, but...
Ooh. Oh. You're gonna add much more spinach than that though. Keep adding until you're satisfied with your spinach ratio, because that is just gonna disappear in the pan. Vegetables, done. My timer just went off. Voila! Don't touch the glass or the pie weights, they are still hot. Okay. Come here. Okay. Woo. In my quiche making journey, I just don't really know how to prevent the bottom from rising after you take them out, but I tried to keep it in and it just didn't bake well, so it's just one of the things you have to watch out for. So, back in the oven for 30 to 35 minutes. 1, 2, 3, go. Filling time. So, in the filling, we're gonna have 3 whole eggs, 1 egg yolk, ½ cup heavy cream, 3/4 cup whole milk. And then you're just gonna add a little pepper, a little salt, and that's pretty much the filling. Once that's completed, then you layer it and add it into the pie crust. But the pie crust is still baking, so these are good steps to get out of the way now so you can just keep the process going. So, I'm gonna go ahead and crack a couple eggs. If you guys have any favorite Christmas movies, comment below. I just showed my parents White Christmas for the first time last night because they had never seen it. If there's any holiday specials that are niche or just worth talking about, let me know. 'Tis the season. 1 egg yolk going in. And then you're gonna use 1 egg for your egg wash when the crust comes out. After it's done baking for that 30 to 35 minutes. We're gonna egg wash it and put it back in, but we'll get to that step when we get to that step. You're gonna add 3/4 cup milk and ½ cup of cream. Oh. Ooh, thick cream. Whoa, that's some thick cream. Whisk together ingredients. A little bit of salt and pepper. Quiche is out, but it's just the crust. So you're gonna do a little egg wash. This is a time where you can patch. I feel like the egg wash does a good enough job for patching, so I just kind of leave it. So you're gonna brush on your egg and then set it in the oven again for 5 minutes, the same temperature. And then once that's done, we'll take it out and assemble the filling. The crust is finally done after about an hour. So, take it out of the oven. Gorgeous. And now it's assembly time. So, you're gonna start with a layer of cheese, a layer of your mushrooms, onion, spinach that you cooked up, layer of cheese, and then you're gonna pour over the mix. And I just use like it was like a 7-ounce block of Gruyere. And other times I've added havarti, and that's been really good too, with the Gruyere, and I've also done one with cheddar. But I think the Gruyere gives it the most quiche-like flavor and is probably my favorite so far. With the havarti, it's really good, but you don't need the havarti. Havarti's just like kind of creamy. So Gruyere's got that funky vibe that I'm looking for. Okay. Another layer of cheese. Then we're gonna pour over our egg mix. Perfect. It's a little close to going over to the edge, so sometimes you have to be a little careful putting it back in the oven. But this goes back in the oven at 325 still for an hour. See you in an hour when the quiche is done. This is a great time to do kitchen cleanup, so by the time your quiche is done, the kitchen's nice and clean and you're ready to dig in. So, see you then.
And no rain.